Hi everyone, welcome to a Arts District Boston live tutorial Tuesday, and today we're going to talk about some DIY printmaking techniques. The first one I'm going to talk about is styrofoam. So when you're doing this, you want to use a styrofoam that has kind of smaller particles. See how this is more tightly put together versus when I break this, you can see the large circles it's made up of. This is actually from a cup I have, so I didn't have a flat piece. So we're going to try it with both. With this, you could honestly just take a pen or a pencil and, make a mark in it. And that's actually going to print. And we could even do it right now. So it's really that simple. So I'm just going to whoop. And I'm just using latex or Liquitex acrylic paint. And I have this roller, but if you don't have a roller, a paintbrush will work totally fine. You just want to make sure you're painting on pretty thin. So, and again, this is a curved surface, so it's going to be a little tricky. But you can see the paint is, even I just drew on it with pen, and it's already not going to go in that spot. Press it onto our paper and see what that does. There we go, just like that. All I did was draw with pen on styrofoam and I made a print. So same thing with our bigger styrofoam. It's just gonna maybe be a little bit less of a clean line because this is made up of, such big chunks. Like this is 1 or 2 circles of the styrofoam versus the little tiny circles that this is made up of. Okay, but I made this Arts District Boston logo, so let's try to print that and see how that comes out. And for this, I just used this one small knife carving tool, but a regular knife would work fine. This is for printmaking specifically. So again, just, rolling out the paint so it's thin. Again, you can definitely use a paintbrush because even if you got it in these holes, it's not going to print if it's not touching the paper. All right, so let's see that. Hey, I forgot it prints backwards. Yeah, so that's another thing. It's definitely going to print backwards, but still you can see the pieces of styrofoam, the little balls, and it's a little chunkier than the small styrofoam. Okay? You could also just, cut this to a shape. If I wanted to make a smiley face stamp, I could just cut it into a circle. Let me go ahead and do that. And then I'll have a little smiley face stamp. Maybe I could even glue a handle onto the back. I would not want to meet this guy in person. All right, so that is one way to print make, just putting dents into foam. Another way you can DIY print make is, and I saw this online, you can take a piece of cardboard and some string, and you can either, wrap the string around the cardboard and just, use some glue to secure it, or I don't know, let's just wrap this and see what happens. I'm really interested, actually. Just kind of make a cool shape that you find interesting. All right. And I'm not even going to tie it or glue it. I'm just going to cut it and tuck it in. Oops. Okay. So now I just kind of wrap this, and I'm just going to go ahead and dip this in my little ink pool here. That's kind of an interesting print. Let's roll out a little more paint and see if we can get it darker. I think it's a cool texture though. The rope kind of, or the yarn, I guess, it makes it pretty cool. So again, I'm just gonna stamp this into my, I'm just using acrylic paint and stamp it onto my paper. Not too cool, not too bad, I like it. We can put these kind of repeating all over, make a nice little effect. All right. I also did make one of these. I want to see how detailed these small sections can come out. And for this, I just used some glue to kind of cut and stick. I'm gonna try rolling it on, even though I have a feeling this yarn is gonna just absorb the paint. Yeah, I'm gonna just dip it in. Okay, let's see. I know it's gonna be backwards, I forgot. Ooh, the little details came out. I didn't think that B was gonna work at all, but there it is. So you can actually get pretty specific with this kind of cutting and gluing yarn. So you can make little details, which is nice. And try to get a little more paint on it and see what happens with more paint. Looks like the paint really just wants to go in that one section, and it's kind of shy over here. Maybe I pushed down a little harder on this string when I was gluing it. Could be a reason why. All right, let's see. Okay. So it did run a little. Try it again. All right. I mean, it's still an interesting effect. I think the more abstract string print is cool because you can kind of get like a nice texture instead of trying to achieve something specific. Yeah, that's pretty fun. I might use that in a painting. Nice. Okay. Let's try another technique. So I have these corks. This one is fake cork. It's foam, which I actually like working with this one better. I think you get a better result. This one is real cork. So it's kind of like when we used the smaller textured styrofoam versus the kind of bigger, chunkier styrofoam. The individual kind of pieces of foam that this is made up of are bigger than in the other one. Same with here. So this is actually made up of really kind of tight, close together plastic. If it's not just like a spongy, sorry, I was looking at it. If it's not just like spongy, this is big chunks of cork. So these will kind of fall off when you're carving it. But I just kind of drew a shape, you know, that I wanted. I made this one a heart, and I made this one like my little signature because I thought that would be fun to have a stamp of that. And then I really only used this one carving tool again. So, I mean, I have all these pretty intense carving tools, and they work great if you're, you know, working with linoleum or real printmaking, not DIY. But really for DIY, all you need is like this a small knife or this small knife tool. And then I just carved them out, and I got this. It's a little sloppy, but we're gonna see how it prints. Like I said, this was harder to carve because it didn't want to come off in little sections. I really had to cut into it, like cut the sections in half. I also made a star. This actually had a plastic coating on it, but as soon as I carved into it, the plastic coating fell off, so that's not even really gonna help us. So let's try these little stamps. And I'm just gonna dip them straight into my acrylic paint. Cute. All right, so these actually work well. I don't know why half of my heart is a little shy there. But yeah, making stamps with corks, 10 out of 10, would recommend. And I'm gonna try this with the more rounded real cork, not the fake cork. All right. I think I did lose some detail on the corners because the face of the cork was a little rounded. If I mush it around in a circle, it might be better. And then we'll try the one I kind of carved more specifically into. All right. Hey, that works too. Nice. I think that one worked the best. Cool. So these are just some printmaking techniques that you can try for your artwork at home. Very DIY. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. This one was a lot of fun. Thank you guys so much. And I hope you learned something, or at least were a little inspired today. Bye.